Hey there everyone, it's Misty here, design team member for Stamp Anything. Welcome back to another episode of Fannie Friday. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through masking. We're going to be using Mama Coco to make a one layer card. Spoiler alert, I hate this card. You'll see why at the end. I'm gonna share it with you, but next week I will share with you how I fixed it. So that's kind of like a spoiler alert. I'm not even kidding. I had a good idea, and that's why I say sometimes I have this idea in my head and I want to get it out, and I get it out and it's like, this is awful. What am I doing with my life? So that's what we're doing today. So I have a piece of Hammer Mill 100 pound cardstock. That's what I color with when I stamp. When I print, I have a laser printer. When I do my digitals, I was using 60 pound, but I found the 80 pound and I love that so much better. So coloring with Copics is really a personal preference. Some people use Express Blended. I've never tried that. There was a time when I used the Gina K something white, her heavyweight white cardstock. That worked fine, no bleed through. So it's really up to you, but the Hammer Mill is like $10 for a ream of 250 pages, so I think it's worth it. I have positioned Mama Coco in the middle. My idea for this card was to have her in the middle and then have all of the flowers from the flower stencil around her. And I knew that I wanted to do a one layer card. And the way to do a one layer card is to do some masking. So I am going to be using some Eclipse masking tape. I believe I bought this in like 2019 or 2018. And I look at how much I still have left. This has lasted me forever. Eclipse, like a lunar eclipse masking tape. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll link it for you. Not an affiliate link. I'm not an affiliate with Amazon or anything like that. The links for Stamp Anything are affiliate links. So if you purchase through those links, I appreciate you very, very much. So I'm going to go ahead and ink her up again. You don't always need to do this, but I knew that I wanted to be able to see where I was going to cut her because she's different. Like looking online, I went through Google. She's almost different in every picture that you see, which is interesting because she literally never changed in the movie, I don't think. So her wheelchair was wicker. And so I stamped it and now I'm going to pull it off and I'm going to cut it out. So her wheelchair was wicker. The top part was wicker. Then it was iron. And then behind her feet is also wicker. It's that, I don't remember what it's called, but a lot of people use it, or it used to be used a lot in front of like speakers and stuff. What is that called? It's on the tip of my tongue. Aaron uses it all the time on Hometown. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, if you search Mama Coco on Google, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm using a micron pen to get the parts that didn't stamp for me. It was her fingers and some of the trim on her scarf. So I went ahead and left the back alone and then cut around the wheel on the left. And then I'm just going to cover her up and that's it. So I'm using Abandoned Coral from Distress Inks, Coral Reef from Pink Fresh, Tangerine Twist from Gina K, Stamp Anything, I'm using Tangerine and lipstick, and then Daisy. Joss. I'm not sure if we have any inks left, but I'll link anything that's available down in the description box down below. So I am using the layering flower stencil, and I'm using 2 through 5, I think. I'm not using the leaves. Maybe it's 2 through 6. So I am going to kind of just put flowers all around her. And the great thing about the masking paper is that she'll be protected. Now there was a little bit that got through. That's a me thing. I think I lifted it unintentionally. So I'm just turning these where they want to go. So I'm using brushes from Pink Fresh Studio. I bought these not realizing just how tiny they are. They're almost impossible for me to hold. I have osteoarthritis in my hands, and I also have rheumatoid arthritis in my hands. So holding things that are tiny is kind of hard for me, but all of my brushes are dirty. They're actually in a basket. I need to clean those and my makeup brushes, and I haven't done that yet, but they're in a basket, so I wasn't able to pull them out. I did pull out a couple later, but so yeah, I wash mine with, baby soap, like I wash them the same way I wash my makeup brushes. You can just kind of spritz them down and then rub them like if you have a stamp pad. That will get rid of most of the surface ink, but I like to give them a pretty deep wash after I've used them. And that's just me. You don't have to, it's just me. But then if you procrastinate washing them, then you end up like I am and have nothing. So there's that. As you can see here, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not going on top of each other too much. And I'm going through and coloring with each ink color, and then I'm going to go through and fill them in. If you've never seen the movie Coco, I highly recommend it. I talked about it in the last video with Hector and Miguel. It's sad, but it's also beautiful. Like the message of your family visiting you, and like, I don't know. I just love it so very much. October 13th is the anniversary of my grandmother's death. And Mama Coco reminds me a lot of her. My grandmother was full-blood Mississippi Choctaw, so she was brown. And her hair was white when she passed. Like, Mama Coco and my grandmother are just very familiar to me. And so I was really bummed that I kind of messed up this card. But I'm going to remake it, I promise. It may not look like anything like this, but this card is going to get remade because she deserves it. So again, I'm just going through with all of the different colors, and then I realize I'm using the wrong brush with the wrong ink, and I'm just like, you know what, we're just going to go with it. We are just going to go with it. I love masking. If you guys remember, I showed you guys how to mask when we had the pirate release last year, and then I also did some masking with the cowboy release when she was in jail, and I used the cobblestone behind her. I really love that card. I think that card is available in my Etsy shop, now that I think about it. So instead of using this to put centers in the middle of the flowers, I went through and just put it all over the place. So this is kind of where things get messed up. I'm using abandoned coral to go around her, to kind of give her a halo around her. I should have used a different color here or gone a little bit deeper. Same thing for the outer edges. I used antique linen, and I'm using distressed inks and not distressed oxides because oxides are opaque. You can't see through them. There's a hint of how I store my inks. These are jewelry organizers. Here's a slow motion of the peel. Oh, I love peeling. It's so satisfying. I can't remember if they're called ring holders or there's some kind of jewelry holders, and they fit the ink pads perfectly, and I can stack them in a drawer. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. So here is the look at Mama Coco. I put this in slow motion just because it's so satisfying. And you can see a little bit of ink got behind on the wheelchair. And so that, and here she is colored. So the problem is she does not stand out, and you can see me here grab 0 to see if I can kind of put some stuff in. I love her face. I love her scarf. It's the rest of it. She's wearing pink house shoes in the movie, and I'm like, those don't really go. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So I brought in a couple of grays to see if I could give her a drop shadow. I think if I went with a darker brown or a darker gray, like right up against her, it may have looked better. For her house coat or dress, it's so pretty. It's that embroidered floral. I actually have a shirt like that is like 7 sizes too big by this point, but I can't get rid of it because the embroidery is just so pretty. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this card? And I go ahead and choose a darker color. But I really, again, I think the background is okay. I really should have gone a little bit deeper around her, like either a bit of brown or something around her to make her stand up, and then gone along the edges of the card and added some more ink or whatever. And I just didn't do that. And I didn't speed this up either, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it at the speed. And you can see here, I'm using like C2, trying to go around her to add a little bit of a drop shadow. And it's just not dark enough. It's not deep enough. And it's just, I don't know. You guys will have to let me know what you think of this card down below. I hate it. And it makes me sad. Because I'm like, number one, it was a whole lot of work. And I had the thought, Misty, you should probably scan this before you color her. And I was like, no, it'll be fine. Famous last words. Famous last words of a fool. If you're a George Strait fan, you may have heard that song before. So I'm like, okay, C didn't do much. Let's bring in C4 and go around. And again, just trying to add a drop shadow to kind of make her stand out. I should have added some shadow underneath her. Like there are a couple of things that I would redo. So next week, I will share with you how I fix this card. And you guys will have to let me know what you think for sure. Because again, I just don't know what I did wrong or what caused me to be crazy with it. I don't know. I don't know. So here's my idea. I wanted her surrounded by the flowers, and then I was going to use part of the die, the builder die, to kind of make a filigree picture frame. So this would be her picture like they had on, like they displayed. And I thought that would be so cute. And if, again, I need to redo it. I think either I'll leave the background white. You guys will have to let me know what you think I should do to fix it. And maybe I'll take your suggestions and fix it for next week's video. But that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you. And here's just, sometimes things just don't work out. And I hope that you guys take it to heart. It's just pencil and paper, right? It's just pen coloring. It's just paper. And we can always start over. And I honestly could probably cut her out and put her on a different card. But another problem that I had is the paper kind of ripped. From what? I have no idea. But yeah, anyway, all right, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Sign up for Stamp Club because November's release is off the chain. All right, friends. See you later. Bye for now.